Hey, it's Eric from Synergy Loves Company. I recently got the chance to sit down with Andrew Jagoda from the Rare Cuts Media Society, and we talked all about Disney and Aerosmith. In this clip, you're going to see us talk about Aerosmith, Disney, and the Armageddon soundtrack. They pretty much did most of that album. Anyways, take a look. Oh, let's talk about that, because let's get into to Armageddon here. And like when you're talking Armageddon and Aerosmith, you have to talk about Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And like you said, it's their only number one hit. And it's at this point they're like over 20 years into their career.
Yeah.
And they get their first number one hit, and they didn't even write it. It's a Diane Warren song, and I kind of feel like, because she's had so many number one hit songs that she's written, like anything she writes, she's just like, I wrote this song, it's going to be a number one hit. And she's like, here you go, Aerosmith, number one hit. What do you think about the song? As an Aerosmith fan, as just a general fan of music,
To me, it's a wonderful song. I don't mean to knock it. Obviously, it's commercially successful. But it's not the ultimate Aerosmith song. To me, honestly, a much better song, which we've already talked about, is Crying. To me, Crying is the one that, if you're going to say, okay, give me one song from Aerosmith and listen to it, I'm not going to give you I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I'm going to give you Crying probably 8 times out of 10, because it starts off a little slow, which I Don't Want to Miss a Thing is slow the whole time basically.
It's a ballad,
slow. They use it in slow dances now,
right?
And have for now we're going on 20 some years being in slow dances.
Now it's an old slow dance.
But Crying, it starts out slow, but then it becomes just like, it does everything that Aerosmith ever does in their songs. Like
it brings you through all the Aerosmith emotions.
I especially have to say Kramer's drums on it. Like he beats the hell out of those things in that song. And I love that. I love it so much. So it's funny to kind of have to go from talking about the music video, which is like, to the fact that I just adore that song. And then to have to kind of compare it to
a great song.
The one that everybody officially recognizes as the best Aerosmith song, when statistically, commercially, critics, whatever.
Yes.
But to me, it's like, okay, you took all of the stuff that Crying and Permanent Vacation, Pump, those albums did really well, and you took it away. You still get Steven Tyler with the super loud screaming vocals, but everything else, it's like, okay, now we're going to give you violins, we're going to give you orchestra sound, and we're going to make it slow. Like, it just completely baffles me that that's the number one that they got.
It's not an Aerosmith song at all. Like, it's them playing a song, sure. Like, they're the ones playing the music. They, Diane Warren wrote it, but it's not. It doesn't feel like there's. And I think one of those things that you're describing is like the bluesiness of Aerosmith is totally stripped out of that song. I mean, the guitars are there, like you said. The screaming's there. It's just not an Aerosmith song. It's a good song,
definitely.
But it's not like you said, it's not the one that the Aerosmith fan would tell you, that we wouldn't tell you to go listen to that to get a good sense of who Aerosmith is.
Right.
But so it becomes like the biggest song. Now, that's not to say those ones that we talked about the videos for were hits in their own right, but they just didn't hit that number one spot.
Right.
Only this one, Don't Want to Miss a Thing, hits that big old spot there. So, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. We get Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Let's go talk the soundtrack a little bit before we go and talk the movie. There's some other songs. I gotta tell you, when I got into Aerosmith, which is kind of weird because I don't want to say Don't Want to Miss a Thing is the song that got me into Aerosmith, but the Armageddon soundtrack was one of the first like Aerosmith releases that I owned. And it was never really Don't Want to Miss a Thing that made me want the like it wasn't like, oh, Don't Want to Miss a Thing's my favorite song. I think I had an awareness of Aerosmith, but then when I got the Armageddon soundtrack, it was more the other tracks on there that kind of led me to them. So maybe I did buy it for Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Let's go ahead and say I did. I don't know if I did. I feel like I didn't, but that could be Aerosmith fan hindsight, knowing that that's not really who they are. But there are some other songs on there. It's kind of like a mini Aerosmith album. And we've got there's the song What Kind of Love Are You On? Which had some little chart play. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah. I will say I never owned the Armageddon soundtrack. So for me, it was...
Yeah.
I don't think I really got big on Aerosmith until after that.
That it had its wave.
After the Armageddon wave, the Bruce Willis and the Ben Affleck.
Of course. That big old asteroid that they got to go do some offshore drilling
Which
on.
I'm pretty sure I saw the movie when it came out. But to me, it wasn't like, oh, that song. It was more like, oh, all right, Bruce Willis is dead.
Right. Spoiler alert.
Well, sorry.
No.
If you haven't seen the movie by now, you probably won't ever see it.
Just kidding. 20-some years afterwards. No. Oh. But yeah, no. So they have What Kind of Love Are You On? What Kind of Love Are You On is the only other song that's like a new song. And it really, in my opinion, sounds like it was a reject from like Nine Lives, which came out a little bit before, and it didn't quite fit. I can't even remember where it comes in during the movie. It's a decent. It sounds a little bit more late '90s Aerosmith than Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I would go ahead and say, even though it's not an Aerosmith song, I probably personally prefer Don't Want to Miss a Thing. It's okay. What Kind of Love Are You On? There's some like weird stuff that Steven Tyler does, like that we know he does. Like he does like a little thing where he does like a Jack and Jill went up the hill thing that gets inappropriate, and it's just like, okay, Steven Tyler is Steven Tyler. Yikes! Yeah. Oh, Steven Tyler. But then you get Sweet Emotion is on there. Come Together is on there, which are going back to that good old 70s Aerosmith kind of the vibe. And the whole soundtrack, I think, has a good kind of 70s vibe. There's Journey is on it, has a track. It's a newer track. ZZ Top is on it. Bob Seger has a track on it. So I don't know if they wanted the 70s feel and then went like 70s rock feel and then went, does anyone know any 70s like rock and roll stars? And like Liv Tyler's sitting in the corner there on the cast, and they're just, or if they were like, hey, let's cast Liv Tyler and then we could get her dad, or if like Aerosmith inserted themselves. I don't know, but it seems like nepotism somewhere somehow. I don't know. It's kind of weird too that they include the Beatles cover that Aerosmith does as one of the tracks. Yeah. Which is interesting.
Of all the things that they've covered in their days, that was... I guess since it's a big blockbuster movie, if you're going to have them cover something, you want it to be a band that everybody's going to know. But...
Right. So Come Together is it's going to be a song that's kind of recognized. Yeah, and I don't know that they could have, if they wanted the Beatles version of Come Together, I don't know if they could have done it, because Steven Tyler would have been like, guys, we have a version of that song too. we could put that one on here.
Just give me 5 minutes. I'll re-record it for you.
Right? You need to do it. I could do that. We could do that. Oh, and then there's one more song that I have to... I don't even know if I should call it a song. But the Armageddon soundtrack ends with a song called Animal Crackers. Yes. And it's billed as being by Steven Tyler. I think it mentions Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck too, but it's Steven Tyler singing "Don't Want to Miss a Thing's" chorus, but not to the song "Don't Want to Miss a Thing." It's different music from the movie, and then they just play some dialogue that is about
animal crackers.
animal crackers. It's I remember like when I had the CD back in the day, and I enjoyed listening to the album. Like if I got that far to that song, I like felt embarrassed for the album that was on there. I was like, this should not be a song.
No.
It's pretty bad. I don't think it needed it.
No, it didn't need it.
I can't think
they could have just done him playing the piano or whoever's playing the piano, I don't even know, and doing that singing, and just had it be like 35 seconds long or whatever. They didn't
like a little reprise
they didn't
thing.
Need to have, if they really wanted that extra track, then they really didn't need to have Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck talking about the animal kingdom in cracker form.
Right? And whether or not they're actually crackers. I don't think it counts as a song. No. It's a sad excuse for a song, in my opinion. But it's really a hodgepodge. It's like, they pulled the singing from the one song through some, other score music under it, and then now, if I'm not mistaken, though, I think in the movie they just kind of lifted that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like the audio from the scene. I'm trying to remember if you hear Steven Tyler singing before that scene happens. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Armageddon in a while.
I haven't either.
I might have to go back and revisit it. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you really like this video, visit synergylovescompany.com for the full audio podcast.